Recording in progress.
Hello.
Hi teacher, do you hear me well?
Hi. I do. How are you?
Well, I'm very excited to start this first conversation.
Good. Oh, great. Can I ask, how do you pronounce your name?
Nestor.
Nesta. Okay. So Nesta, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm from Peru. I live in Lima, the capital. I study in chemical engineering in a university of engineering. About me, I like programming, I like science course, and sports. Sometimes I do a little bit about that. I think that.
Okay, perfect. And have you traveled outside of Peru before?
No, I don't travel too much outside Peru, but I travel in my country, in some regions.
Okay.
Some regions, like Ica. Ica is a name of a region in Peru. But I would like to travel around the world.
That's good. Okay. And how old are you at the moment? 18?
Yes, 18 years old.
18 years old. Young and free. Have a good life ahead of you. Okay. So what is why did you join Preply? Is it for education? Is it you have to take a test? Is it just for daily conversation? What is it for?
Yes, right now for daily conversation to improve my speaking, to be fluent when I speak in English, and then I would like to go more for the academic part. I would like to do a TOEFL exam, but in the future.
Yes.
In the future.
Yes.
Right now, I would
in
like
the future.
To
okay.
improve in the fluent.
Okay. So let's do that. Let's just have a daily conversation but I also want to quickly test you on your listening skills so I can just kind of see what level you're on. So what I will do is
I'm gonna do a test. Okay.
Yeah, it is sort of like a test, but it's not a test. It's just so I can see what level of
Okay.
what your level of listening is. Don't feel stressed or like pressured, or it's nothing crazy, all right?
Yes.
So for this one, I will ask you questions, okay? This is something about your personal life. So where you grew up, like the environment that you're around. So it shouldn't be too difficult to answer. What I will do is we will listen to an example first, and then I will go and I'll ask you the questions, okay?
Yes, I can see very well that.
That's fine. You don't have to see very well. What I'll do is I'll play the audio first. You can listen, and then I will ask you questions. It doesn't matter if you can't see very well.
Listening skills, please.
Yes. Okay, let's listen.
Now, in this first part, I'd like to ask you some more questions about yourself. Okay? Let's talk about your hometown or village. What kind of place is it?
It's quite a small village, about 20 kilometers from Zurich. And it's very quiet, and we have only two little shops, because most of the people work in Zurich or are orientated to the city.
What's the most interesting part of this place, the village?
On the top of a hill we have a little castle, which is very old and quite well known in Switzerland.
What kind of jobs do people in the village do?
We have some farmers in the village, as well as people who work in Zurich as bankers or journalists, or there are also teachers and some doctors, some medicines.
Right. Would you say it's a good place to live?
Yes, although it is very quiet, people are friendly, and I would say it's a good place to live there, yes.
Let's move on to talk about accommodation. Tell me about the kind of accommodation you live in.
Okay. So I'll ask you these questions. Try and elaborate as much as you can. Okay, it is your own hometown, so you should be able to kind of talk about it as much as you can. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so let's talk about your hometown. What kind of place is it?
Well, I live in a town called Lima. The interesting part about it is that it has many parks, it has many touristic places. About the jobs, you can do many different aspects in
Okay.
here.
Hold on. So Nesta, with this, don't wait for them to ask you the question. So when you finish answering this question, you wait, okay? And then they will ask you the next question.
Okay.
Because if what you do, if you talk and you just go quickly, you're not going to be able to meet the criteria of speaking for 4 to 5 minutes, because you won't be able to, you're going to have done it too quickly. So rather speak about something, okay? And then when you finish, you can pause, and then I will ask you the next question.
Okay.
There is a part, yeah, so let's start that again, and let me actually put on my timer so we can see how long it takes. Let me put on the timer. Okay, so let's start again. So let's talk about your hometown. What kind of place is it?
Well, I live in Lima. It's a town. It has many parks, statues, has many touristic places, restaurants. We characterize in the gastronomy here. We have desserts also. And many beautiful beaches. And it's beautiful. It's amazing. It's interesting.
Okay, so but what is the most interesting part of your town?
What's the most interesting part? It can be that it has many different places to go, like the beaches is very beautiful. You can enjoy with your family to go to that.
Okay, good. So what kind of jobs do the people in your town do?
Very different, so many. We have a capacity, like you can be a doctor, polyglot, architecture, or engineer.
Okay, good. All right. So would you say it's a good place to live?
Well, I think that it's a good place to live, but not in all the districts that we have here, because there are some districts that it's a little insecure, but in the many of them it's good to live. It's beautiful, and you have many places to enjoy.
Okay, perfect. So let's move on and talk about accommodation. Tell me about the kind of accommodation you live in.
What is accommodation?
So it just kind of means the type of house you stay in. So do you stay in a duplex or a house or a flat or an apartment? So what kind of housing do you have?
Well, I live in a house with my family. And
okay.
We have here a bathroom, 4 bedrooms.
Good.
And here a living room, and 1 kitchen.
Good job. Okay. So how long have you lived there?
Well, I live since I was a kid, since I was 8 years old. So it will be 10 years.
Okay. Right, and then over here, what do you like about living there?
Well, I like because we have a park in the front of our house. It's beautiful to enjoy that park because I can walk with my pet, and I like that.
Okay, great. Okay, and last question, what sort of accommodation would you most like to live in?
Well, I would like to live in an apartment, I think, because I think it's more secure and you live in there.
Okay, great. So let's look at the time. Okay, so that was good. You just made the time, okay? So you made 4 minutes and 5 seconds. So you would have passed the criteria. You got the thing of 4 to 5 minutes. That's perfect. Okay. Then you will get part 2, okay? Because remember there's 3 parts. So now we're doing part 2. So in part 2, what happens is you will get a task card. And with this task card, you will get specific questions, okay? So for this example, it says, describe something you own which is very important to you. So what you will need to say in your speaking is where you got it from, how long you have had it, what you use it for, and explain why it's important to you. But over here, I'm not going to ask you questions. So you will just need to speak, okay, until I tell you, okay, time is up. So like what you were doing, you remember in the first task where you were just speaking before I told you, no, don't speak? That's what you need to do over here, because I'm not going to ask you any questions. So I will give you 2 minutes. Do you have a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen or something to write?
Yes, I have a note.
Okay, good. So what I will do is I'm going to put my timer on. I will give you 2 minutes and you can write notes to answer these questions, okay? Because then I'm going to time you and you need to speak for 1 to 2 minutes about what is something that is very important to you. So you need to describe it. So let's say, for example, I talk about my cell phone. I will say, something that is very important to me is my cell phone. I got it from Vietnam when I was teaching there, and I've had it for the past 8 months. I bought it for my birthday. I use it for teaching. I use it for my social media. I use it to research things and to watch things on my phone. Okay? Why is it important to me? It's important because it has a lot of important information on it. It can store a lot of pictures and music, and I worked very hard to save for this phone, so that is why it is important, okay? So I won't ask you questions. You just need to be able to just speak and answer all of these questions.
I have to describe a thing,
Okay.
right?
Yes, anything that's important. It can be a camera, it can be a t-shirt, but something that is important to you. All right.
Okay.
So let me put on a stopwatch. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, right? You'll get 2 minutes to write some notes and answer this. And then after 2 minutes, you will start to speak.
Okay. So right now.
Okay, so wait, let me.
And then I'm going to.
Yes, right now yes, and then afterwards you'll speak. So 2 minutes, 3, 2, 1, go. So write down you've got 2 minutes to write.
I can type in digital. It can be.
Write on your piece of paper.
Piece of paper.
I'm doing, write it on your piece of paper, yeah. Okay, and time.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start. Let me quickly go to my game. Time here. Okay, this one is not too long. You only have to do it for 1 to 2 minutes, okay? So let's start. So, can you describe something you own which is very important to you?
Of course, yes. One thing that is very important to me is a laptop that I got. I got it from a store. Well, I have this for 1 year recently. I use it for many things like academic aspect, social aspect, and self-improvement. I can explain that it's very important to me because I can use it to like a tool to hone my skills and to be in contact with my family. I can use like different apps as a Skype or Zoom. In here we can, I can do my academic classes and speak or have a conversation with my family. And also, I think with this tool I can improve myself in different aspects like a language. It's all I can say about this beautiful tool, or this useful.
Okay, so that you would have also, good job, 1 minute, 22 seconds, you met the criteria, you were able to speak, good job. Okay, and then there's just the last part, which will be speaking test part 3. This one again is also 4 to 5 minutes of speaking. But you will be able, the invigilator will ask you questions like they did in part 1. So let's listen to an example.
We've been talking about things we own, and I'd like to discuss with you 1 or 2 more general questions relating to this topic. First, let's consider values and the way they can change. In Switzerland, what kind of possessions do you think give status to people?
The first thing which comes in my mind is the car.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because lots of people like to have posh cars or expensive cars to show their status, their place in the society.
Is that a new development?
No, I think it isn't.
People have thought like that for quite a long time.
Yes. Another thing is probably the clothing. It starts already when you are young. When the children go to school, they want to have posh labels on their jumpers or good shoes.
What do you think of this way of thinking, that I need to have a car or certain clothes to show my status?
Probably it's sometimes an replacement for something you don't have. So if your wife has left you or your girlfriend, you just buy some new, new watches or new clothes to make you satisfied again.
You don't think of it as a healthy way of thinking?
It's probably not honest to yourself. You can't understand what I mean?
Yeah. And do you think this will change?
No.
In the future, will cars and clothes, designer clothes, be status symbols in the same way?
I'm sure that clothes will be, that the thing with the clothes will be the same. I'm not so sure with the cars, because cars cause lots of environmental problems, and probably in some years, few years, this will change, because it's not reasonable to drive a car anymore.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
So we'll go back here. Let me put on my timer. Okay. Right. So let's consider first of all how people's values have changed. Okay. So what kind of things give status to people in your country?
In my country, I was in the same thinking about the guy. It's the car. I think it's a thing that gives status to people when they have how I say that, expensive car. It can give you like a sense that you have money.
Yeah, that you. So it makes you feel like you're important. Okay, that's fine. And then, so why do you think things like cars or cell phones or clothes make you feel like you're important? Like, why do you think that gives you status?
Well, I think because all of these materials have a symbol. When you see, you can notice that some people have more money than others. So I think it is that the cause of the clothes or the material.
Okay, good. Okay, and have things changed since your parents' time?
Have things changed? I don't understand very well the question. Have things changed?
So right now you're saying, like, in Peru, the things that make people important is cars and, clothes and everything. But when your parents were growing up as children and they became adults and all that, has it changed from when your parents were growing up to what it is now?
Well, many things changed. I think cell phones, televisions we have now, in the past we didn't have that. And also the way that we study and play right now.
Okay, so finally, let's talk about the role of advertising. Do you think advertising influences what people buy?
Well, I think yes. Advertising influences to many aspects. Like when you see famous people buy something, you are like more tend to buy that thing.
Good. Okay. Right. So let's stop that. Okay. So this one you're supposed to talk for 4 to 5 minutes, but you're only able to speak for 3 minutes 31 seconds. Okay. So in terms of this one, you would have to speak a little bit more, otherwise they would subtract some marks from you. Okay. It's not too bad. You were only under by 30 seconds. So if you could just speak for another 30 seconds, then you would have met the criteria, okay?
A little bit difficult.
Then, no, I know, it's your first lesson. You haven't done it in a long time. No, we'll get there. Don't worry. Like, I'm just trying to help you in terms of when you do your test. That is how it will be marked.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Then there's these listening activities, okay? I'm going to start you off at intermediate. I think you're able to listen quite well. Can you pick one topic over here?
I would like to baby food. I think
Baby food, okay?
baby food.
Okay, so it will be on baby food. There will be 2 speakers, a man and a woman, okay? So you will hear the idioms, be someone's baby, which means to be a very special position, a goal, or a project, okay? Or to sleep like a baby just means to sleep very deeply. So like no one can wake you up. You just dead to the world, okay? So let's listen. As we're listening, I want you to take some notes because these will be the questions that you will have to answer, okay? I will go and I'll go down, but let's listen.
I got it.
Yeah, okay.
Hey Logan, how about some chocolate peanut butter milkshake? Yum, 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 yum.
Dad, what are you feeding my child?
What?
He shouldn't eat anything but rice and plain bread. He's not supposed to eat anything else right now.
Oh, this rice is so good, Logan. Yum, yuck, yuck. Sorry, Logan, but hey, look. Hey, your mom's in the other room. Let's forget about the rice for a minute. One bite of this chocolate milkshake won't hurt. Here, take a small bite. No, a big bite. Yeah.
How does my child like the rice?
Well, Logan, look. You have chocolate all over your face. Let me clean up your face before your mom comes in here.
Dad, is he not eating? Do I need to come in there?
No, we're fine. Thanks. Logan and I are just talking about politics, the stock market, you know, the economic turmoil in the world, just light stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's all he needs. I'm coming in there.
No need. Oh,
Dad, what have you been giving him?
we've just been sharing some of this chocolate rice, milkshake.
You know it doesn't come in flavors, right? It just comes in rice. Look, wash his face. We have to go to the store. Get him cleaned up.
Okay, Logan, I guess I'll have to finish the milkshake myself.
Okay, so let's look at the questions. So what is the boy's name?
Logan is the boy.
Good job. Okay. This one, the man wants to feed his grandson some.
Milkshake.
Good job. Okay, the boy Logan should only be eating rice and...
Well, I don't remember very well, but I think it's soap. I don't remember very well.
Okay, you think...
See,
That's fine. It doesn't matter. Just guess something. Rather than leave it open, just guess anything, okay? Because it's either wrong or it's right. Okay, next one. The boy has the food all over his.
I'm distracted. I'm distracted in the middle of the...
Yes, anyone.
Hands?
Okay. That's okay. We'll get it, don't worry. Okay, and then this one. The grandfather says he is talking to his grandson about... Good job. Well done. Okay, so 3 out of 5, that's not too bad. Okay, so let's go back. I want you to choose one more. Let's practice one more of these.
Okay, I would like to...
Which one do you?
College majors. It could be the rest. College.
Where is it?
It's in...
College roommates
Not majors.
or majors?
Majors.
Okay. Okay, so college majors, intermediate, it's a woman and a man. Okay, so you'll hear 2 people. The idioms, whip through means to